Hi guys, so now let's get started on drafting out the panel top. As usual, I have my basic bodies ready with my manipulations. I've done my underbust tightening. Everything is fine. This is my exact bust measurement, exact hip measurement, so I'm good to go. If you want to know how to go about this, please go back to the first video on hammer process seam bustier. It was explained in detail. We've been using that pattern and we're using it all over and all over again. Okay, now moving into manipulating this pattern into a panel top. I'm going to be doing armor processing this time around, and it's going to be a round neck, and then convert this bottom part to a panel top. So how do I go about it? I've done my underbust tightening, I've done this, so I don't have to do that again. The next thing is to convert this thing now to armor processing. And how do I go about it? So I'm going to measure what I have from here, from this my shoulder point up to here. That's 6.25, and half of 6.25 is 3.15. So I'm going to just make it 3 inches. So this is 3 inches. Then the next thing is to take my French curve and take it this way, and that's all I have to do to convert these basic bodies to hammer princess seam bustier. Okay, and once I've done that, the next thing I have to do is to now cut out this. Because I want more panels, I'm going to divide this pattern, this part of my side front, I'm going to divide it into two. And how do I go about that? From this point now to this point, this 4.5, half of 4.5 is 2.25. So I'm going to mark 2.25 this way, and then so I have 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? So the next thing I have to do now is to convert this thing to add fullness. The next thing I have to do is to add fullness. And before I can add fullness to this, I will have to first cut it out. So the same thing for my back. The same thing for the back, this is 2 already. So I'm going to divide this into 2 as well. I'm converting this, I'm tilting my dart this way. I'm going to measure from here to here. I have 4.25. Half of 4.25 is about 2.2, thereabouts. So the same thing I did for the front, I'm doing the same thing for the back as well. And then I'll cut. So I want the back to be a little bit longer than the front. So what I just have to do is to add this center back now. I'm just going to add about probably 2 inches to it, and then connect this way. I added 2 inches extra, 2 inches to this part, just to make the back longer, and then this way. The next thing I have to do is to just close this. Once I've closed that, then I'm going to cut some. Before I cut out, I'll mark my neckline. I want the neckline to be round neck. So round neck, I'll measure how my shoulder to be about 2 inches wide. So 2 inches wide, and then I'll drop this by probably 2.5. This way. Cut out. So once you've done that, the next thing will be to cut this out. Now the next thing I have to do is to add fullness, and my fullness is supposed to be from my waist all the way down, so which means that I'm going to be adding fullness from here all the way down. And for me to do that, I just need to get, before then, let me cut out my back. So I'm cutting out the back pattern. Then I'll take the front pattern, so I'll be able to mark my back. And the next one will be to cut out 1, 2, 3, 3B, 2B, 1B. That is to identify that that is the back. Now, 1 half, 2 half. So this is the pattern. This is our pattern. The next thing will be for us to add the fullness, and for us to add the fullness, we're going to add it one after the other. So you take your paper, you gum each panel, you gum this way. Once you've done that, you add your fullness to the side. So this part now, this front part, I just want 1 inch. So I'm just going to add 1 inch to this bottom, and after that, I'll connect this way. So I have added my fullness that way. Then for this part, I'm going to add fullness to both sides, here and here. Now I'm adding the same 1 inch I did here. I'll do 1 inch here too. And then for this side, it can be fuller. You just have to add the fullness the way you want it. So I'm going to do about 1.75 here. It doesn't have to be the same thing. So done with here and here. Then the last one for the front. Okay, remember that for this place we had it 1.75, so I'm going to be doing the same thing, 1.75 here too. And then this place, the same thing, 1.75. So the same thing, the same method we did here is the same thing we're going to be doing for the back as well. I am done adding fullness to all the patterns. The next thing I have to do is to bring them together to make sure that all the lengths are equal. So any side that is longer than the other, I'm just going to trim it off. So basically, this is all about cutting the top with fullness, with a round neckline, and then hammer princess bustier. The next thing will be to transfer to fabric and then fit. So I'm moving to the cutting aspect of this panel top that we made. We're going to be mixing these two shirt fabrics together. The pink one is going to be the center front, then this, it's not having any lining, it will just overlock everything, and then we'll join together. 1/2 inch seam allowance on all the sides, then the side seam should be like 1 inch, 1.5 inches depending. I am done transferring these to fabric now. The next thing to do is to overlock all the sides, join it together, and show you the result. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.